Hello and welcome to Charwell. We're up to midsummer and it looks like the pigs have made an incredible mess. All their food is out of their trough. I think we better do something about that. So yeah, as you probably gathered, today is going to be an animal day on Charwell. We are going to be using our little JCB skid steer here more than anything. Both our pigs and our chickens are in need of some work, and so we're going to be doing that. We are going to drop off. I actually want to drop off this first. We're not going to need these, so yeah, here will do nicely. Actually, we'll stick them in these. See if we can actually stick them in these pallets here. Be a good storage space for them. There we go. So stick that there. There's not actually a collision on those pallets, but that works. We've got a little bit of straw left in our straw blower. So we'll start with that. But the big thing is, so if I show you in here, the big thing is our animals, both our chickens are completely dirty and have no food. And our pigs are the same. Our pigs have very little of everything. So it's going to be an all-round setup on that today. I need to get this working. So let's just sort this out. There we go. And we've got about half a bale here for us to spray. It's a pity I can't leave this doing and then come back with another bale in a minute. But yeah, we are where we are with this. So lift it up. And we should be able, if we switch over, yeah, there we go, to unload that. So this will give the pigs a good amount of straw. I think they take, looking at this, yeah, I think they're going to need another couple of bales. We did come across this last time, but as I said, what we'll do is we'll leave this here, and we'll go and grab 2 bales. So that will work nicely. We're then going to give the pigs a full set of feed as well, because they will need that. Oh yeah, and as we pop out here, we'll just stop here. Turn our stopcock on as well, and that will then mean that our pigs are nicely looked after and doing well. As same goes for our chickens. Our chickens have a little bit of feed on the floor, but they are completely out of feed otherwise. We fortunately didn't lose any animals overnight, so they ran out of food overnight, but that is fine. We're all good. And this is sort of leading us up to doing the harvest. So next time, we will be getting the harvester and doing the harvest. Field 43 will be ready. It's actually had a couple of bits die, but isn't quite there yet insofar as being ready to do. If we have some time today, actually, what we are going to go and do is go and quickly spray both fields 19 and fields 40 and 83, sorry. That is our 2 fields of poplars. Those could really do with some fertilizer on them. It would help immensely for the poplars going forward this year. So I'm going to go and spray those. Hopefully we're going to be able to get those harvested in the winter. We've got a little while to go on it, and it might just work, but we'll see what happens. Let's get these first though. So that's our first one. Out of the way, piggy. There we go. And so yeah, very much an animal based bit of work today. Let's just grab that, I think, and maybe, just maybe, yeah, there we go. There absolutely is today's thumbnail. So if you wondered how that happened, that is how that happened. Right, let's get this emptied. Maybe that will draw it. If the thumbnail of the pig on top of the JCB drew you in, then let us know in the comments, because I just cannot resist that. That is just absolutely perfect. We've got one, as I said, we've got one more of these bales to do. It should give us enough straw. Yeah, give us enough straw to keep our pigs going for a while. He's getting off the top of the JCB now. That's good news. And we can then get the second bale here. Much easier way of doing this, to get these bales over here in twos like this. And then, whoa, you need to catch it on the edge just right though, in order to get this to work. There we are. So pull that out, connect it up, and blow it. There we go. That's the second one. Yeah, what we're going to do after we've got this done is go and get a bucket. I'll get the bucket for the front of this. We'll clean up the food, and then we'll get the new food for them. And that should hopefully sort our pigs out. So that'll sort out their cleanliness. That will then sort out their food. We've got 57,000 litres of manure, which is good. So I'm quite happy with that. And yeah, that will keep things going fairly well. And that has got that sorted. So we're a good way through that. We could go and get another bale and do that, but what I think we'll find with that is that we'll again end up with part of a bale used, and much better for us to try and do a full bale and wait till it drops enough to do that. So let's get this in here. Drop that off. Get the JCB on here. Oh, can we line that up better? Again, sometimes we need to just go down and back, and there we go. And it would be useful to pick up food straight out of here, but we don't need to. We need to head over here, clean this up. And it's, yeah, closing this gate does give us a little bit of security for our pigs, but they don't tend to run off, so it's okay. And we'll just clean this up. Now, I haven't checked recently how our sales of pigs and things go. I think we're going to end up selling a load of pigs after we get our first field done on the harvest. It will give us a good. There'll be a break between our first day's harvest and the rest of it. Field 43 is going to come ripe a long way before the rest of the fields on here. So yeah, it's one of those things where we just want to be careful with that. There we are. Right, let's head back over and grab. First, we're going to grab the corn. They normally take 2 buckets of corn, 1 bucket of, I think it's canola. Yeah, it's canola we got here, and 1 bucket of wheat. And then we basically have 1 or 2 buckets of wheat for the chickens as well. And it keeps us going quite nicely. Keeps us quite busy doing this. And as I said, we want to get the poplars sprayed. We want to get them nicely. We want to get a really good yield off them this year. We have got poplars in the. We have got poplar bales ready for us to collect, and we're probably going to use one of the Andersen bale collectors for that, simply because that will give us the easiest way to collect as many of those as possible. Also, if we can get it cut at the right time in winter and baled up in the right time in winter this year, that will mean we will make a really nice amount of money off 2 years worth of poplars, because that's the thing, the poplar bales don't diminish with the rain, thankfully, but at the same time we've been holding on to them for, well, we've been holding on to them for about 9 months by the time we get to sell those poplar bales this year. So I really, really want a good amount of income from those. Making a decent amount of money from those means our winter crop will do well. And of course, now that we've bought we've done them for the first year, we don't need to replant them. And one of the things I need to actually look at is we've got a load in that cedar there. I don't think that tree planter. I want to check this. Is that a leased item? It's not a leased item. We own that. So we could conceivably sell it and make some cash. Especially, let's see how much it is worth. Because we don't need it anymore. 19,000 is actually not an inconsiderable amount of money. I mean, that would have almost bought us our trailer. It might, in fact, I think it almost would have bought us our trailer. Let's just check our pigs. So, yeah, good on the corn, good on the soybeans. I can come and top this up later. Yeah, they could probably take a little more. They could certainly take another bucket full of the corn. They wouldn't take another bucket full of the soybeans. So, yeah, I'm just going to try and keep it pretty even. Of course, if we can get a pig feeding, a pig mixer on here, that would serve us very well. Especially as we've got, especially as we've got the sugar beet that we're doing here on this year. So we do kind of need to get that because we're going to have a mountain of sugar beet here. Right, but that should keep our pigs fairly happy for now. So we'll leave that and we will go and get some wheat for our chickens. Oh, actually, before we go and get our wheat for our chickens, we will clean out the chickens and make sure that they are happy. Did that get all of it? That did. So tip that in there. It's not a huge amount, but them having then another bucket full. And what I'll be able to do is next day, before we start on the harvest, I'll just come in here and we'll give them another bucket each of these, and that'll basically get us through the harvest day quite nicely, and through to the next setup. Now, I don't know what our weather is like going into the next day, and we'll check that in a moment. I'm hoping that we're going to keep this nice sunny, if slightly overcast at the moment, weather. Let's have a look at that, shall we? Yes, we're pretty good. We've got a good day. We need to get that done there, but that's going to be okay. We've got bales to get as a result of that. Although we will probably sell all of those because we have more bales than we can deal with at the moment. So our wheat field, we'll probably get bales done and sorted. But that is our animals dealt with. And that's those done. Now I'm wondering if I have some fertilizer in my Massey tractor. Right, there we go. Let's see. Yes, we have a little bit of liquid fertilizer in here. Now, I don't know if we have any kicking about. We might have a little bit down the shop, which I can't see at the moment. I don't think we have any in our storage at all. We'll open it up and have a look. Lime and herbicide. No. Okay. So let's just have a peer over the wall here and just see if there's anything sitting at the shop. So there's nothing sitting at the shop either. But with the amount of money we've got, we could conceivably, and we're probably, if we're going to do some contracts at some point, yeah, I think that is actually a really good way to go. So we'll grab a barrel of fertilizer. That should fill up our sprayer. So we'll go and take this down to the shop, get this filled up, and once we've done that, what we can go and do is we can go and spray our poplars, which we need to do, but we can also go and see if we can get a fertilizing contract. Maybe not today, maybe next time. We will see. But yeah, we're gonna probably need to borrow a little bit of money at the very least to hire the combine, because we're going to hire the harvester again this year. Yeah, this should give us almost a full set of tanks on this. There we go, and refill that as well, like so. Something we also need to check out this year is once we've harvested the poplars, I'd like to try and get a mower, I think, and see if we can cut the grass between all the poplars. Best time to do it is when they haven't grown. We may miss the opportunity, because I think in spring, if they suddenly start sprouting, we will we'll lose that opportunity before they are actually in a position where we can, you know, and it won't damage the poplars. I don't know if we were to mow this at the moment, whether that would damage the poplars, but yeah, it's possible is the trouble. Right, we'll close the gate because it'll be easier for us to turn around. And before we go any further, I just want to check these bales. Yeah, see, these don't... There we go, wood chip, 2,000 litres. So no, we still have 2,000 litres of wood chips in there. So that is very, very good news. Turn this on. And away we go, spraying our poplars. And actually, you can see it's doing the grass as well, rather interestingly. If we can get this now to the rows, like so. There we go. And this will mean that our poplars will be better condition when we come to harvest them later in the year. And we are actually doing the grass at the same time, but there's not much I can do to stop that or prevent that. And it's the grass will benefit from it. What we can't do is sort of get the rows differently. So this is why I'm continually spraying, because we are able to cover quite a wide area with this. But yeah, increase in the yield of the poplars would be really cool. Would be absolutely brilliant. And just now trying to see where we would go for this year. And we got poplars in the field, and we should be okay as far as spraying around these. Let's get that like that. Yeah. And that like that. And we can do 6 rows at a time of this, which is really, really good. Really neat. This will get them to second stage of fertilizing. So my hope is that we can give them another spray as the year progresses. They are sort of still fairly early stages of growth. They're not very high, the poplars, at the moment. But yeah, would serve us well if these will be actually be a winter crop this year and not a spring crop for us to harvest. There we go, and in again. Catch it as much as we can. And I'm not too worried about the grass rows in between. So when we look on the map, there may be that we find a gap between the rows that we're spraying. Not too worried about that. So long as we get all the poplars, that's good. Is that going to bend over? Yes, those bent through. That's good news. Right, so round this one here. Splits them a bit. But they are still up. And those are basically the ones we've got in here that are still grown and won't wither, because that's the great thing about poplars. Those are where we originally planted stuff and then drove over it to plant another row. So that's why we got those big bushy rogue bits in here. because they then started growing and grew late compared to their other ones. Oh, actually, we've got a good number of rows here. It's a multiple of 6, so that is great for us. That works really, really well for us. And yeah, all we have to do each year is spray these poplars, which is excellent, absolutely excellent, and that will sort us out. So there we go. That is this field done. We'll go and do the other one as well. So head up here, and this is going to be a bit more of a straight video today. There is, as I said at the start, there's not a huge amount of stuff to do while we're waiting for this harvest to kick off. We can go for a little bit of a tour around the back of the map. Looking very nice with the canola in there. Looking very, very nice with the canola in there. I think we are doing rather nicely on Charwell now. If I don't hit fence posts. I think we're doing rather nicely on this map. We're expanding well. We've not got a massive loan. We are going to have to get a bit again. We're going to have to expand our loan a little bit to get into the harvest this year. But then we are doing that as I would expect. And yeah, going well, moving well as a result too. Let's head down this way. And this is again, I've said this about Lancer Boys maps many times before. I love the little roads around the back and the windy bits. And Field 44, I thought finished in the forest. It doesn't. Field 83 does, but 44, no. There's a gap between, there's a road between the forest and Field 44, which is, yeah, just great. Right, so this, again, this is another field that's a bit of a triangle. It has a very big wedge. And it has a whole load of bales sitting at the side of the field. Well, we are in good stead. There we go. Right, let's pull out of here. Again, we're going to unfurl this. Now, I think these might be a little bit further apart. No, they're not a little bit further apart. Well, that's good then. Because that means we will get all of these. We just need to try and start from the very end, if we can reach it. Okay, so we're going to have to head out here. Start it and in, and then move across in order to make sure we get everything. But yeah, that's working well. We've got good coverage on these. It does feel like it's a little bit wider, but otherwise it's all good. And very, very happy with how successful that is to cover those. I am a little bit trepidatious about exactly when these will finish growing. As I've said, if we can get winter harvesting off these, that would make me very, very happy. Whether that will happen this year, I have no idea. It would be cool if it did. It would be very, very cool if it did. But I really, really unsure. We know how to harvest them now efficiently, and we can put probably put a front loader onto this to easily move them around the field, so that we're not using our skid steer on to do this as we did last year. I think is definitely going to be a way to go. I want to make sure that we're using something like this to move the bales rather than skid steer. So that should be fine. But yeah, it's what time of year are these going to become available to harvest, and how goes it with that? There we are. And last row. which will cover us and finish us off. And again, we could have got possibly one more row in here. But either way, I am happy that has been successful. We're going to fold that in. I will get this back to the farm. But that is that job done. We're in a good place. And I'm going to finish this video here. So all that remains is for me to say thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please give it a like, drop us a comment, and give it a share. And for all the latest videos and live streams from Virtual Farmer, please subscribe to the channel and ring that bell. And I will see you next time. Goodbye.